All right, happy Monday night, everybody. Welcome on in to the daily broadcast, emanating forth, coming to you from the Hat Creek Interior Studios. You can find their showroom in Lubbock 10101 South Slide Road. Go to hatcreek.us on the website and check out all the greatest Western style furniture and accessories you'd ever find. They ship to you. It's amazing stuff. Now, it's Monday. Busy weekend. A lot of Tech basketball. Lady Raiders stayed undefeated. The Tech men survived a second half, just a total electrical power outage from scoring at Colorado, but they won. Tonight, though, we're going to delve into, some broad topics. Tony Romo must go. He cannot be allowed to broadcast any more NFL games. I don't know how many Dallas Cowboy fans love him anymore, but he's gonna go. That was awful this weekend. There on CBS. Indiana and Tech should absolutely be America's teams going forward. Why is that? I think it's fairly obvious. Texans or Steelers tonight. Houston, get this done. Slim road favorites. Or does Tomlin and Rodgers pull one out of there? You know what again? And then best drive-ins. I saw somebody post this on Facebook, I think, today, and I can't think who to give credit to. But they were talking about a great drive-in on the South Plains. Drive-in food places, not, well, you get the idea. You know what I'm talking about. Drive-in food places. And I guess some of them you can go in and eat. Have fun with that. What do we got tonight? Let's do it. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans. All you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, Raiderland.com, the website. You start today there every day, including getting those Raiderland hot links fresh and hot every morning. The best links from around Raiderland and beyond, brought to you by Jackson Brothers Meat Locker in Post, Texas. They ship to you. You can go down there. You can call them up on the phone, whatever. Just tell them we sent you. Also by Gators Bayou here in Lubbock, 98th and Slide. You want to watch the Texans tonight, Steelers tonight, a little NFL football, get some hot Cajun food, ice cold drinks. You're headed out to Gators Bayou. Got a lot of great choices out there. Ask me if you've never been, and I'll tell you what you ought to get. Tell them we sent you. And by McAlpin Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of Raiderland. Kevin McAlpin has worked with great Red Raider athletes for decades. He can help you feel your best here in 2026. And, of course, everybody getting in on the United Supermarkets chat line, the one supermarket here in West Texas that takes care of Texas Tech, as opposed to the one that takes your money and sends it down south and puts it on stuff in Austin. You know what we're talking about. All right, so let's get it going tonight. Indiana and Texas Tech ought to be America's teams. I think they're very similar, different aspects to it, but very similar. So why wasn't Tech America's team this year? Is it so simple that it's Cody Campbell and paying for it? Because Indiana's spending money. Everybody's spending money. The Tony Romo thing. How bad is Tony Romo right now? How bad is Tony Romo? Basketball on your mind, best drive-ins, and NASCAR for my 3 NASCAR friends that I still have left out there, the 3 people that still care about NASCAR. The chase is back. We're going back to the original chase format, more or less, a little more emphasis on wins. I'm here for it. I'll pay attention. All right, let's get it going on the United Supermarkets chat line. We'll hang out as long as you guys have interesting conversation, whatever's on your mind. It's on the broadcast tonight. Glad you're with us on a Monday night. Lynn at the Lady Raider Coaches Show. It's packed. It should be. They're undefeated. Got Houston coming up on Tuesday night. Yeah, I think the men got Utah on Wednesday, or do I have that backwards? No. I think I got that right. Yeah, Houston for the Lady Raiders, Utah for the men. Sorry, men just played Houston. Yeah, it ought to be. They're 1 win within a single season record. Same season, single season record. James just wants you to know he's got big thumbs. Very large thumbs. He does. He's on Facebook, by the way. Everybody who gets in tonight, whether you're on Facebook, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, free platform, our YouTube channel, everybody watching on YouTube, give us thumbs up, subscribe, share with your friends. We would appreciate that. Grow that thing. We want to get over 700 subscribers as soon as possible. And, of course, Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. Old Texas Tech man, 91-44. Hut, hut. What do you have to say? They're on the YouTube. Texas Tech getting today Auburn wide receiver Malcolm Simmons, not to be confused with Malcolm Young from ACDC, who was quite dead and, as far as I know, never played receiver. Last two games of the year for Simmons, he kind of went off. 8 catches, 292 there for Auburn, a 91-yard TD reception. We looked at it. If he does that, extrapolated over a 12-game season, he will be the greatest receiver in the history of football. Obviously, Cam Coleman signs with Texas over the weekend. Not surprised. I was on a radio show on KFYO Friday. They asked me kind of what I thought. I said it's about 25% chance. I probably said it here too, but I don't know if we really talked about it. I just never got the feeling that the dude was coming to Lubbock. He was shopping. He was doing his thing. And quite possibly that's exactly where a dude like that needs to be, you know? Very well could be. Jeff gets in on our YouTube channel talking Texas Tech basketball. You guys really not gonna whip up on Tony Romo tonight? It was horrible. Colorado exposed how to beat us. No, they didn't. It's been out there all year long. Drive to the basket, put us in foul trouble. No, that's been. Go back to any of the games Texas Tech has struggled. Every Big 12 road win is a good win. It was a great win. You absolutely scorched them in the first half. You held on for dear life. This team has still a depth problem, and second halves are going to be a problem. Good teams, certainly. Great teams, definitely. Good teams, certainly. Bad teams. But there was nothing exposing it. That's been there. You're light on the front line. You weren't exposed. There was nothing being exposed there. That's who you've been. Any news on Stephanie Okwachukwu? No, nothing new that I've heard. The coaches show is going on right now. I didn't hear anything on the pregame at Cincinnati. I listened to the pregame show from Cincinnati with Mark Finkner. Didn't hear anything on that. So, yeah, we'll see. Jeff, I'd rather listen to Collinsworth over Romo. Yeah, I mean, at this point, anybody over Romo. He has appreciably gotten worse. And CBS made a multi-million-dollar blunder by giving him that contract after the first year where he was just coming out of the league. He knew every team. He knew all their play calls. He could, Jim, I think they're going to, the whole deal. It's well documented. And now he brings nothing. The analysis pregame, going to be an underdog, but they're an overdog, and the team that could win is the team, but they could win it. And I'll tell you this, Jim, the team that wins this game could win the Super Bowl. Any of these teams. And if you want to know what the call is going to be on a reversal, just listen to what Romo says. Now, that could be almost any NFL announcer right now because they continue to get the calls wrong on replay and otherwise. That everybody just sits there and goes, we all have two eyes. We know that's not a catch. We know they didn't get that snap off in real time. They shouldn't be kicking a field goal here. Well, they must have seen something we didn't there, Jim. By the way, Jim Nance, can we have a conversation? We're having the conversation about Al Michaels. Al, don't come back next year. Somebody get a hold of Al. Don't do it. Now, I know hardly anybody's watching and listening to Al Michaels with him being on Amazon Prime these days. Don't do it, Al. Don't. When somebody says they'd rather listen to Collinsworth, that's all you need to know. Texas Tech basketball injuries. Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. Absolutely part of it. With the bigs. James says on Facebook, Ryan It's Raiderland, getting on the United Supermarkets chat line here in the Hat Creek Interior Studios. Listen to all the games yesterday on the Westwood One radio app. Might have been better than TV announcers. I would say 9 times out of 10, the radio announcers are better than the TV announcers. 9 times out of 10, I would give you that. Got ugly real quick. Romo has entered Phil Simms territory. Didn't take long. Romo, Nance, worst combo. He's bringing Nance down with him. Yeah, Nance has lost a step, obviously. And Nance is Nance is too freaking old to be covering for somebody. Nance should have the greatest analyst that you have, whoever that is in your stable of analysts. If Jim Nance is going to get your A games, then he's earned the right and he deserves the right that he should have the best analyst, not the worst. That's what you do when you're in your early 30s and you're just breaking in at network and you're getting the crap game of the week. And you got to work with this guy who maybe, played a little football or what, and you're just going, oh, geez, if I can just make this guy look good, I can get moved up. I won't have to do these games anymore. I mean, if I were Nance, I would demand that they dump Romo. We'll see. Hillary, what a great throw, Romo. Throw is horrible. Receiver gets wrecked. Hospital ball. Gets his knee torn. Was it his knee or gets his leg torn? Yeah, he throws a hospital ball. Oh, what a great throw. Got to catch that. Romo. Jeff, best drive-in for all of us olds, Charking. Well, no, I'm talking about like right now, Jeff. I'm talking like right now, best drive-ins or food around the South Plains. All right, so somebody was talking about Buddies and Andrews today, and I'm like, knock yourself out. Good stuff. Steak fingers, let's go. Talking about best drive-ins. Diners, drives, and dive-ins, West Texas style. We're rolling out, looking for the best that West Texas has to offer. All right, so nothing old, nothing like Char King. I get where you're coming from, Jeff. You're way freaking old. Are the Mannings the best announcers in football? 9 times out of 10 on an NFL Monday Night Football game that means nothing, they are much more interesting to listen to. 100% more interesting to listen to. What do you got? Texans tonight? Steelers. Texans slight favorites on the road. Defense has been great. Offense a little susceptible. I'll say this: I do have a small investment on the Texans first half minus 0.5. Literally, they just have to lead the first half. But I also like the over, and I got it earlier today at 18.5. I think it's 19.5 now. Not fundamentally different right there, but 14 to 7 gets me on the over first half. Here's the deal: in the second half in the full game, I don't trust the Texans to not put their foot off the gas and try to win it with defense. And I hate betting against freaking Tomlin, even though it is the postseason, and they don't win postseason games anymore for the most part in Pittsburgh. But it's Monday night, and they always win in Pittsburgh. And then there's Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Texans to lead at the half by a smidgen over 18.5. First half is what we're looking for. What do you guys think? Did the Texans get this? I know we have like 4 Texan fans in the deal. By the way, are you guys sharing this on YouTube? Right now, it's Raiderland, liking it, sharing it, inviting people in. Same thing on Facebook. We can talk tech basketball if you want to. I asked the question, and we'll re-ask again. People coming in. Shouldn't Texas Tech and Indiana both be America's team when it comes to college football? Indiana sucked forever at football. Texas Tech hadn't won a conference title since the early 50s, and they get one this year. Shouldn't every school, every fan base be loving up on Tech and Indiana? I know Tech's the limit, and I get that. I understand it. But why didn't Tech get more love? And I guess maybe, they bounced out one playoff game. I get it. Is it something we'll see maybe next year? Because if Tech and Indiana can do it, schools all around the country ought to be saying, we can do the same damn thing. We have graduates with jobs. Our school's been around for 100 years. We have generational wealth. We have people who have founded companies. And this idea, this SMU billionaire talking about the price of poker, and you can't do this every year, and he's going to find out, talking about Cody Campbell. And, it sounded like a guy and Bill Armstrong at SMU who'd lost a couple of games of long pecker poker over the years, and he's really jealous of what Tech's doing. It's not just, by the way, Cody Campbell. It's not just Womble. There are a lot of people out there. But to sit there and say a billionaire, multi-billionaire, can't sustain the price to play poker at the poker table. Let's say you got $19 million, $20 million a year for a football roster, and that's just what you got on the university side. Now I need to raise another $20 million a year. If I can raise, and I've got a billionaire, some other guys, and I sit there and maybe I got $100 million in escrow that we're going to give $100 million to Texas Tech. We're not building any facility. We're creating a fund of $100 million a year. We're going to grow it, by the way. We're going to have it invested. We're going to grow it anywhere between 8.5%, 9.5% every year. And we're going to plow that back in on top of what we're going to get. You guys get where I'm going with this. The dollars actually work. Bill Armstrong. Good, bad, and ugly Monday. He gets the bad for being a billionaire at SMU who talks about ROI and sustainability. They're the school that paid the ACC to let them in, and they don't get any money from it. Let me know how that works out for you, Bill. Jeez. Gary, Facebook. Romo and Collinsworth never shut up. Someone needs to invent a way to mute certain announcers. They get paid to talk. Blame the network on that. Blame the producers. Blame the execs. Because they think you want them talking. Mike, Facebook. Best drive-in food is Foxy Box Taquitos and Clovis. All right. Really? Really? Foxy Box? Okay. I may be out of order. I'm at Rudy's for the coaching show. Why would you not be there, man? 18-0. One more, they get a record for a regular season. Undefeated Lady Raiders with the sound off. You don't have the sound on? Hey, by the way, tell Coach Gerlich and Finkner I said hey. Seriously, tell them I said hey. I did a lot of shows out there on the old Williams and Knight show. That stage, thank you. That's us. Let's see, Chris, Manning cast for the Super Bowl next year will be fun. Gary says, James, contact basketball, listen to Haxton, level and mute the TV much better. JC Double T on YouTube, Ryan Adds Raiderland. Radio announcers worth their salt are always better than the TV guys. My thoughts. They've done something or looking to do something. Radio guys love it. Okay, depending on how old you are, radio is dying. Radio, in 10 years, you probably won't have any radio play-by-play, specific radio play-by-play. They'll dump TV on radio. You will listen to the TV broadcast on radio. You won't have a separate radio play-by-play for Texas Tech, for Dallas Cowboys, or anything else. Then the teams, everybody else will look at the redundancy of that and say, why are we doing this? Nobody cares anymore. And it's going to be a shame. I'm glad that I came of an age where I got to do that for 30 years. And I think I was pretty damn good at it and enjoyed the hell out of it. It's dying. It's going away. Teams don't care. Schools don't care. Don, Texans are going to feast on Rodgers all night. Defense travels. Defense does travel. I am worried, though, second half, Texans take their foot off the gas. This thing gets close. Tomlin, I don't like betting against him. I don't think they're going to win. Rodgers, I don't like him, but I don't like betting against him. We'll see what happens. Jeff, Indiana could be America's team. Tech won't because of the way the new kid flipping over the big kid table with Cody's money. Well, where do they think Indiana's getting their players? They're paying them too. By the way, the biggest story that got I think totally covered up over the last week is that Mark Cuban, alleged billionaire, and I don't think he is. I don't think he is. Mark Cuban had never donated to Indiana athletics at any given time. And this is maybe the giant, the sleeping giant that Tech is waking up and that other schools are seeing right now. But think about that. That a guy like Mark Cuban had never donated anything substantial to Indiana athletics. Which is why I say I think there are a lot of people at a lot of schools when we hear, well, it's you got to have a bunch of billionaires. No, I really think there are a lot of schools around the country, 50, 60, 70, 80, that, and if there aren't a lot of schools around the country that have millionaires and billionaires, then why are people going to those schools to get an education? Because apparently you can't make any money. I mean, that would be the big. All the people walking around in the SEC going, we're poor. Well, then why the hell would anyone go to an SEC school to get an education? Because apparently you'll never have a job, you'll never make money, you'll never have a company, you'll never grow anything. And they've been around for 150 years. Don, everyone hates Tech for spending money as if we're the only ones. But Hoosiers, not getting any of that attitude. Go figure. That's exactly what I'm saying, Don. Go figure that up. Why is that? Because they're in the Big Ten Conference. That's what I say. They're in the Big Ten. Chris, Texans win by 10 and Rodgers tears Achilles hammy. Man, that's really dark for a Monday. On Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media. Here in the Hat Creek Interior Studios, where we wish no one to tear an Achilles or a hammy. Don't want that. Get on the United Supermarkets chat line. Robert Delgado getting in. Indiana, semi-good under Bill Mallory, but other than that, brutal. Yeah, semi-good. Defense, semi-good. You know what semi-good is? Semi-bad. Half smart's half dumb, as far as I'm concerned. Give me the singer that said that. I'll give you a $50. Hillary jumps in. Great Lady Raider, by the way. Great Texan. Good. Had a great Christmas break with kids home. Bad, it was 3 weeks off from school. Ugly will be tomorrow morning waking these kids up for school. And I realized I didn't click on that before I read it, but there you go. I don't miss that. And we had a kid, and the older kid got, even younger. Well, no, even younger, my kid wasn't a problem getting up because he thought he was a dairy farmer. He thought he needed to be up at 5 o'clock every morning. Why isn't everybody up at 5 o'clock? And this continued on up until about the junior high age. Then we flipped back the other way. And then, wasn't that big a deal. Don't let anybody distract you. That Beard's basketball season is going very bad. What? Don't let anyone. Maybe Texas Tech was a better job than you realized. Why would anybody on YouTube come in and say, don't let anyone distract me, talking about Chris Beard? I don't care. 99.9% of Tech fans do not care what Chris Beard is doing at Ole Miss. It don't matter. You know? What is that? TMJE. What would possess you to put that in on here? No, I'm serious. I mean, no one here cares about Chris Beard anymore. In fact, I almost wish him well. Go, hey, have a nice life. Get your shit together. Win some games. Hope it works out. Don't care. Ben, you were the best on radio. You could have stopped the comment right there. You were the best on radio. You definitely have a face for radio. Thank you very much. Sometimes just when you write more, it doesn't always get any better. Every school could do what we're doing. They all need to step up and quit whining. And I think more are. And that's what I want to see. That's capitalism, baby. That's what I want to see. Paxton, Texas finally told everyone hold my beer. I don't know if you're talking about the Coleman deal. Let's say, all right, so this is where we get into the idea of overpaying by position without a salary cap. But I do think that when it came to Cam Coleman and the receiver signing this weekend, Texas was not going to be outbid. That if he went somewhere else, it wasn't going to be because they didn't back up the truck. Part of that is because they have been screwing over their returning players and not paying them well, and it's created a problem in their locker room. You know, did not surprise. That's why I had Tech at about 25% chance to get him. It's fine. Don't overpay for wide receivers. Cuban is a billionaire, isn't he? I don't know that he is. I don't think he has near as much money as people think. Now, I think he's got millions and millions of dollars. He ain't hurting, but I don't think he has nearly as much money as people think. Fine with Texas spending. Be Texas, baby. Yeah, spend the money. If all you did with the courtship of Coleman is drive up the price of poker for somebody else, even in a non-salary cap world, they had to still have the expenditure on that. Texas Tech drove up the price of every quarterback in the market with the signing of Sorsby. Everybody had to pay more. LSU had to pay more for Levitt. Dylan Raiola going to Oregon, and he's going to back up more if he comes back. The hell's that? That was just weird. Fake Natalie Maines, first time listener, long time texter. I read a great article on how Signetti doesn't have a GM like Blanchard. Sig is the GM head coach and has shorter practices, just so you know. Love you. Yeah, he's not into, I mean, he's a Bill Walsh disciple on that, on the practice aspect and everything else. I think you will find he'll probably want a GM. Just guessing. JC double T. Someone paid for those SEC stadiums. Does SEC have every state capital school in states it represents? It's zero connection. Because we like to laugh at him. Jump shoots and scores. Glenn talking about great announcement with jump shoots and scores. Jack Dale. Inside, outside, right side on the outside, right side, perimeter, back out there. Jennings goes back inside. Taylor Anderson down on the low block, back outside. Taylor in the corner, back out on the right hand wing, wing on the right hand side. Jennings jump shoots and scores. I can't do Jack's voice, but that was the location, how he would locate the ball. Very descriptive. One of the best technical play-by-play announcers I've ever heard. Grew up obviously listening to Jack. Almost got out of play-by-play when I realized I couldn't do basketball the way Jack did basketball. And then I finally heard, of all people, Brad Sham doing a Longhorns game in 1989. And his ball location and everything else, I ripped a ton of stuff off. Not football from Brad Sham, but basketball. Brad Sham, highly underrated basketball play-by-play. He had really good ball location. I could do that. I could make it work. But yeah, I was, by the time I was a sophomore at Tech doing play-by-play, I was ready to hang it up. UT forgot they needed an offensive line. They're not taking care of the ones they had. Joseph, they hate Tech because we have become the school you hate to play. There you go. All right, a few more minutes. Tech and Indiana ought to be America's team. Tony Romo's got to go. Get him out of the broadcast. But go play golf. Tony, we love you. Go play golf, right? I mean, even Cowboy fans, right? You don't want to hear him. We'll take up the best drive-in food outside of Lubbock. Maybe on another day. We had a lot going on. Texans getting ready to kick off here in what, 15 minutes or so? Like I said, Texans to win. I like the first half Texans minus 0.5. Over first half at 18.5. Anything else after that, I think you ought to look in game and see how this is going. Hey, James, do you think this portal season will get the NCAA to step closer to CBA and salary cap? Nope. It's going to take lawsuits, massive lawsuits. I shouldn't say that. Yeah, it'll get a step closer. Some of these fans clutch their pearls. I love pearl clutching. When money is brought up, who cares? I say, spend the money. And so I was like, Harry Carey, hey, I say, spend the money. Cuban said the Mavs majority sold the Mavs majority stake for 3.5 billion. Pretty sure he's a billionaire. Yeah, but when you sell that stake, all right, you lose 1.5 right off the top. Then I think he had some other controlling partners in there. I'm not saying he's broke, but to sit there and say he's got $4 or $5 billion lying around, I don't think that's true. I really don't. Jan, none better than Jack Dale. You were good, but Jack was great. I agree. Jack was great. I'll take good. If Jack is the great, if great is Jack and I can be good, I'll take it. Remember the first time Jack ever asked me to call a game for him? Told me I'd get paid the regular stipend, get paid the regular deal, and then he whips out his wallet. Whips out his wallet and he pulls out a $100 bill and he says, "You know what? You might need a little walking around money there in Dallas. Why don't you take this and have a good time?" And they said, "And I don't really want to hear about how good a time you had." I wish I could. My voice has changed over. I used to be able to do a really good Jack Dale. Can't do that anymore. But thank you, Jan. I'll take good. Isn't it crazy how Indiana wins with James Madison transfer players? No 5 stars. Good coaching, good players, and I think another failure of the recruiting analyst to understand who good football players are. I don't clutch pearls and I don't pray, nor do I pray to sheiks. Indiana wins with good, strong, older players. Look at the offensive line. Look at that offensive line the other day for Miami too. Offensive line, we talked about it a lot at Tech. Get old, stay old, get as old as you can, but grow them up. And that's weird. So like bring in a couple, like 1, 2, maybe 3 every year that maybe can play right away. But you got to recruit 5-star. The Felix, is it Oho or Ojo? I think it should be Oho. Recruit those guys. Bring in the 4 and 5-star high school guys. If you hit on 3 or 4 of those in a class, you see where this is going. Kelly, best backhanded compliment today. Talking about Jan, I'll take it. 100%. All right, you guys are the best. I need you to do a couple of things. Hey, share this with your friends out there, your Tech friends that don't even know they're missing out on stuff. Your college football friends, basketball or otherwise. Put it on Facebook, social media. I'm going to have this on our website, theraiderland.com, here in just a little bit. We'll be taking in the Houston Texans and Steelers game together on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. Subscribe to all of our channels. They're all free. That's our commitment to you. Thanks to our great supporters and sponsors like United Supermarkets, like Gators Bayou, 98th and Slide. If you're looking for hot Cajun food tonight, ice cold drinks, massive TVs, go to Gators, 98th and Slide. McAlpin Chiropractic, after you put up all the Christmas stuff and play pickleball and you mess up your back, Kevin can get you taken care of. And of course, every night we're here in the Hat Creek Interior Studios. If you love great Western style furniture, there's only one place to go. It's Hat Creek Interiors. Corey Flanagan, they are the best. So hit them on the Power of 5. Hit our sponsors on Facebook or social media and tell them thanks every night. If 5 of you do that, don't look around and wait for somebody else to do it and carry the water. You can do it. It don't take 5 seconds. Go make it happen. And we appreciate it. All right, we'll see you guys in the morning. It may be an abbreviated column. I got a dog that's got a bad leg, and I got to take it to the vet in the morning. So maybe a short column. We'll see. All right, but you guys go share everything we do there at Raiderland.com. I got to hit this one too. How many buttons do I have to hit on this?